Oh, hello, people. My name is Kale Boss. The only boss. Oh, wait, what else? Have you heard? Wait, do you know that Tap Tap Send is live in Texas? Oh, you didn't know? We went to New York. Now we are live in Texas. So people in Texas and around, all you have to do is to download Tap Tap Send. Yes, Tap Tap Send has become the most unique, secure, and fast way of sending money across the world to your loved ones anywhere. Okay, so download Tap Tap Send on Google Play Store or App Store, and when you're in Texas or around, you just have to put in the code TXGH. What did I say? TXGH, and you get $10 for your first transaction you make. Mahama media, Texas, you drew ho. Very soon we'll conquer everywhere. Download Tap Tap Send now on Google Play and App Store. Tap Tap Send. It's secure, convenient, easy, and fast.
Everybody check now. Check it. Fa check it. Fa check it. Check it. The beat is real. Don't will make it kill ya. Get your green select glucometer and check it. Sugar level, check it, check it. Fa check it, check it. Fa check it, fa check it, check it, check it. Green select glucometer, check it. Fa check it, check it, check it. Put sugar level, fa check it. Fa check it, check it, check it. Fa check it, fa check it, check it, check it. Green select glucometer. Everybody check now.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
I always love this statement, different strokes for different folks. And it simply means that whoever you meet, the person will determine what kind of conversation you have with him. That is why we say different strokes for different folks. There are some people, when I meet them, we talk raga, dance hall. There are some people, when I meet them, we talk rap. There are others, when I meet them, we talk gospel. And one of such persons is in my studio right now. We are about to talk gospel. And we're about to talk gospel because he has been a follower, a believer, an advocate of the gospel music industry for so many years. Of course, he manages an artist as well. So when there is a story around the gospel music fraternity, he is one of the best guys to do commentaries on them. So today, I caught him here in my studio and I said, well, there is this topic that has been on my mind all this while, issues that I would want to clear. So since he speaks gospel, let me do this conversation with him. And that is exactly what we are about to do in this edition of Real Talk here on Sammy Flex TV. My special guest is man like J Smart from Anidado TV. Anidado TV is a platform here in Ghana where you can also promote your works as much as you need a media space to do this. He's an executive member, produces entertainment show on the platform and more. On Sammy Flex TV, he also appears as a pundit. And there is a story in the gospel fraternity that I would want to delve deep into it with him before we say goodbye, because 2024, it is his first time here, so he's even shy of the studio. The studio is so new to him, so he's shy. My name is Sammy Flex, and my guest is J Smart. He's also a blogger, just so you know. Digital Rasta is called Currency, who is handling my camera for me. Richie Flex is the editor-director of the show. And you out there, thanks for spending quality time to watch whatever we do here. Tap Tap Send is also here. They are telling you that you can send your money from abroad to Ghana, but always make sure that you are getting what they call the wallet. The wallet will help you to save money to wait for better rate before you can send it. So anytime you want to send your money, make sure it goes through the wallet. The wallet will give you some better rate so you can send it to your people back home. Do it today and thank me later. Download the app, send money with it. Easy, fast, and reliable. And use the promo code SammyFlex and you are good to go. J Smart is my special guest. Big man, Akwaba.
That's a boss.
How is the gospel music industry doing in Ghana?
before I touch on that, let me also on the gospel notes. I realized you were trying to give me a proper intro.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
let
yeah.
me also
Add some more.
Add that I'm part of Frankify's producers for This Is Gospel on Max
Oh,
89.7.
oh, you are part of his producers, eh?
Yes, sir.
You guys have been doing a gospel chat.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I
Yes, sir.
see.
So I do the chat. Actually.
You do the chat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I hear Derek Money and his people stole your
Yeah,
design.
they stole our templates.
I forgot to have brought this on on Showbiz Daily, man. Well, that is positive.
Then
So,
again, founder of Urban Gospel Rave.
oh,
We did the edition last year. So, yeah.
founder of Urban Gospel Rave. That is a concert for the gospel music industry, and they did for the urban gospel music industry. They did a maiden edition last December, and I want to believe that every year we'll be having it. If not every year, we'll be moving it from one region to the other to do the Urban Gospel Rave. I missed it. I pray that next time I will be able to make it myself to see. But how did it go though?
You of course you missed a lot of fun, so for the first time, usually if you look at all the concerts or happenings in the gospel space, you realize most of the events are usually in auditoriums, in the churches and all of that. Yeah, but this time around we challenged ourselves, did an outdoor event with a mega, like massive, an international standard stage platform where so we had all these urban gospel artists performing to live band music, and of course this is an outdoor event, like an event single-handedly by an individual without any sponsorship. But when you come, of course, we were giving stuff like some sips. Charlie, yeah, so it was one of the best and greatest events last year, especially for the urban gospel fraternity.
Wow.
The attendance was extremely massive. Charlie, I said DB kind of concert.
Wow, wow. So well, I'm sure my producer will be sharing some of the videos and photos on the screen for you, so you know how to be a part of it in the subsequent editions. That's the Urban Gospel Rave. So we still go back to my first question, that how is the gospel music industry doing? At least we can do 2023 in retrospect. In 2023, how did the gospel music industry fare?
So, if my memory serves me right, down the lane from 2015 to 2023, I would like to say on authority, without mincing words, that 2023 happens to be one of the years that the gospel fraternity, the gospel industry, chopped a lot of successes. 2023.
Wow.
With releases here and there. If you look at most of the jams, most of the monster hits in 2023, the entire industry will attribute the most to the gospel fraternity. So for me, I think we had a very good year last year, 2023.
Okay. So what does it mean? That more people within the gospel fraternity benefited from this, or just a handful of people benefited from? Because when you say that was when the gospel music industry really chalked successes, I don't expect it to be only Piesier, Esther, and Nacee. No. I expect it to cut across for the benefit of everybody who is part of that fraternity.
For sure. So it will actually even be unwise if just two people are making impact, or maybe are kind of seeing some form of achievement in a large circle where we have about millions, thousands of people stride, and we call it success. So it means last year we had many of the musicians come out with a lot of projects. We can mention the likes of Scott Evans, the likes of Mabel Autry, the likes of Kofi Kaikari, the likes of Hewalelala, Perez Music, the likes of Kobe Sam, the likes of Mabel Autry, I have mentioned
earlier.
The likes of Joe Metal with Kadosh.
So there were so many people.
So Elijah the Worshipper.
I know. Elijah the Worshipper was in Ghana for some good time.
He was on the Urban Gospel Rave.
He was on the Urban Gospel Rave. Well, so of course, if how do we call that animal? the crocodile comes from this under the sea to tell you there is something coughing down there. You don't have to challenge it.
No,
I'm not getting the words right, but forgive me. Let's go on to do what we've got to do. This is Real Talk. The episode focuses mainly in the gospel music industry in Ghana. Whilst he's talking about successes chalked by the gospel music industry, I came across a story on myjoyonline.com according to a Kwame Dazi interview on his A to Z, Rhythms A to Z.
Showbiz A to Z.
Rhythms A to Z or Showbiz?
Showbiz.
Showbiz A to Z. And as it stands now, I am here to ask some questions about this decision by an advocacy group in the gospel fraternity called Table of Men. I've actually interviewed one of them before on my show, and I also asked some pertinent questions about the operations and the activities of the Table of Men. I was giving some information that I would want to use. In this story, it says that Table of Men to push 2 gospel artists for 2024 VGMA Artist of the Year. Table of Men are to push 2 gospel artists for 2024 VGMA Artist of the Year, and the story reads, the gospel music fraternity is not relenting on projecting its members as they work stronger in pushing gospel artists to win the ultimate award at the Vodafone Ghana Music Awards. Ninoy, a gospel music executive and a member of Table of Men, a gospel advocacy group that promotes gospel music, has said in a recent interview with Joy FM's Kwame Dazi that the gospel people will still throw their weight behind some artists to win the overall Artist of the Year award at the 2024 Vodafone Ghana Music Awards. While answering a question by media executive Francis Doku on Showbiz A to Z about plans by the Table of Men for this year's VGMA Artist of the Year slot, Nee noted that the gospel artists did so well in 2023 and stand a chance of annexing the topmost prize. And this is a quotation from him. He says, I think he would agree with me that it doesn't look bad. It looks positive, especially when you have a song like Nacee's Asida and even Piesier herself with the song Mo. Nacee's Asida had great impact, and even his concert he did was more creative, adding the drama to music. It was the first time we saw that in the gospel space. We can say it brought a certain shift in the space. I know some people having discussions to follow suit, he said. He therefore indicated that the exceptional performances by Piesier, Esther, and Nacee in the year under review placed them as the 2 choices for their Artist of the Year slot this year. So I think that we are in that space, and this time I think we have 2 people to put forward, and I think it is something great that we should look out for when conversations on the award start. For the first time in the history of Ghana's music industry, a gospel artist, Joe Mettle, won the topmost prize for the VGMA in 2017 through the great campaign staged by gospel industry folks to solicit votes for him. The gesture was passed on to Diana Hamilton in 2021 when she also won the same slot. The award, however, eluded the gospel people in 2023, although they seriously campaigned and lobbied the music fraternity to vote for Piesier Esther to win. While some consider the move by the Table of Men as one that was meant to help in pushing God's work, others thought they were overly desperate for awards, which are not the core tenets of the gospel music fraternity. Other people in the gospel industry also have a problem with the Table of Men choosing their favorite artist to project for the Artist of the Year award. Underline this paragraph. Other people in the gospel industry also have a problem with the Table of Men choosing their favorite artist to project for the Artist of the Year award. In the meantime, the VGMA board is yet to announce the nomination application for interested musicians for the 2024 awards. And it comes back to the conversation. So many gospel artists achieved successes. So many of them did well, as has been mentioned by my brother here, J Smart. Now the question is, why are they picking just 2? Why 2? Are they the only people who deserve to win awards? What happens to the rest of the people who also think they did well and they deserve much in the year under review? J Smart has been an advocate of the gospel music industry, a producer of one of the hard-biting gospel shows on radio. This is Gospel on Max FM. I want to know his opinion about this suggestion gesture by Table of Men moving forward. Jake.
Yes, sir.
2. Just two to project for Artist of the Year.
Okay, so first of all, let me start by at least putting out a background or how Table of Men evolved.
Thank you. Are you a member of Table of Men?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay.
I am not, but I think I know them.
Yeah, we all know them.
Okay, so the Table of Men, I mean, with my closeness to which, you know, makes me understand that the Table of Men, so the reason for the formation of that group is to advocate for gospel music, especially with the fact that for some period of time we realized that gospel music was dominating, especially when it comes to airplays and all of that. But when it goes to the award schemes, they are usually boxed under usually
just two categories.
Those categories created mainly for them. And so some people took it upon themselves to campaign and then make sure the gospel people are being heard, and to break that gene where gospel music will always be boxed and all of that, of which of course they did. And we also saw what happened with Joe Mettle when he won 2017
Artist of the Year
at the VGMAs. And of course it worked also in other schemes also, of which so gradually these individuals were becoming sort of powerful in terms of their dealings day by day, looking at the feats they are able to achieve regardless of how they go about it. And so among these men include Ninoy, and at the time when Ninoy was part of Table of Men, he was the manager for Akese Brimpong.
Yeah.
So for me, if you would want to look at a table that one will fight for, let's say, the well-being of the industry, the gospel industry, away from favoritism and all of that, I think I will rule out an individual who is an artist manager. Apart from the fact that he is an artist manager, he is very, very extremely close to the management of Joe Mettle also. We have Frankie Five. I think at the time Frankie had moved from managing Nacee. Yeah, he was not in Nacee's camp.
But he was still closer to some gospel artists.
For sure. That one I wouldn't rule out, because of course they work around the gospel industry. And again,
thank you.
They are to spearhead an agenda that will push the entire gospel people, the entire gospel musician. Right? And so Frankie could be there. And then you look at somebody like Kwesi Ernest. So Kwesi Ernest is actually their chairman, and Kwesi Ernest heads
Table of Men chairman.
Yeah, the chairman of Table of Men. And Kwesi Ernest is the head of Media Excel, the CEO of Media Excel, and
which houses some artists as well.
Yes, some artists, which includes Kofi Sapon.
Yeah.
Yes, Kofi Sapon. And then you look at Kwesi Kume Kumsin. Kwesi Kume Kumsin is the manager for Joe Mettle.
Oh, okay.
He manages Joe Mettle. So sort of, kind of, so I will again, should you ask me, rule him out. And then you look at somebody like Obi Nate. So Obi Nate, as at the time they founded Tom, was on radio. However, I know he also works with few artists. Again, it is not too far
and
from
he
what he
was
does.
even either singing or trying to sing, or one of them.
That's, I cannot.
Oh, Obi Nate.
I know he was singing on radio, but that was the show he was hosting.
Okay,
so
you no problem.
Yeah. And then we have Kofi Donko. So Kofi Donko is the husband and manager to Celestine Donko.
Yeah.
So kind of a bit shaky having him there, but he's one of the key people that I've also looked at keenly, especially with their function or they are doing with Table of Men. And I think for him, I want to believe he's on course, and for the fact that I don't see him to be biased. If from where I sit, when I usually look at him and then monitor his actions, maybe he's usually so because sometimes he feels the Tom or the Table of Men are not pushing an agenda that should favor the wife. We could say so. And mind you, last year 2023, the wife also had a good time as a musician. Rabina had a very good time as a musician, and then also played few concerts by herself and all of that. Yeah, and then we have Kwame Dakwa. So Kwame Dakwa is the manager for Obapa Christie. So we have few artist managers
who are in there,
who are in there.
on the table of men.
Yeah, we have Nick Solomon, and then we have Mr. Albert Echampo. Mr. Albert Echampo is the CEO of Praise TV.
Oh, okay, Slow.
Yeah, Slow. Yeah, Slow, right? Yeah.
Slow, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so now, of course, many people, of which, personally, I think sometimes they are...
Is Fifi Forcing part of the table of men?
No, Fifi Force is not part of the table
Okay.
of men. Yeah, and so, yeah, the question again tackles why they want to push just 2 people forward for the ultimate prize, which is the artist of the year. I think they have been doing this for many years now, possibly since the inception of Table of Men. They have been doing, that is their agenda, and that is how they have operated for these past years. Which of course, it is wrong. For me, it is wrong. You see, what I see is that their movement have been able to spearheaded few agendas, and a way or the other, they've won, and they've been able to make some impact. In so doing, these people, a way or the other, have become quite powerful in what they do, and so it making some of the gospel musicians a bit shaky towards how they operate, because clearly you look, if you don't belong to what they do, or you are not their favorites, so to speak, then it means you don't stand a chance, regardless of how you did. Yeah. So now these people have targeted artists like Nacee, and then
Piesier
Esther again. Now, last year, VGMA, they pushed for Piesier Esther, but of course, it was too clear and loud that there wasn't a way Piesier Esther was going to beat Black Sheriff
to
win Artist of the Year. And so last year, Piesier Esther released 2 songs. I think just after the VGMA night, she dropped a remix of her song YMEA, which featured the All Stars. Yes, and so for me, I would want to believe Piesier Esther thought she was going to win that particular award. Why that release? Because she scheduled the song on YouTube whilst the
award was ongoing.
It was ongoing. Yeah, so these are all part of the doings of the Table of Men. Now, this is how they operate. And their operations, if you follow them keenly, you are able to determine what they really want to do, or their agendas that they want to push.
Okay.
For instance, you realize once an artist releases a song and these individuals want to push that artist for whatever reasons they have, they start generating conversation around these artists, which for me, I think it is good. But where the problem lies is the fact that they single out certain artists and they do it for them and they leave the rest. If it is an agenda that is being pushed for the entire gospel fraternity, then
they should be pushing more.
Yeah, for the entire gospel fraternity. And of course, most of the musicians are bitter, extremely bitter.
Thank you for saying the truth.
They are not happy about some of these dealings. But like I said, many of them cannot voice some of these things out. They can't voice these
I know
issues.
someone like
Empress Gifty.
She has been fighting them,
and of course,
small.
Yeah, of course. And you see, the thing is that, like I said, these people are powerful. They have become powerful, should you ask me.
Yeah.
And so once you keep coming forward, maybe
fighting them
a lot, they also, a way or the other, would want to mafia you when they sit behind tables where you are not there. They understand? Because as it stands now, right now in the space, if people want to talk or have anything award related conversations, they are the people they call, they are the people they reach out to. And so once they reach out to them, they can sideline you, because as it stands now, they are that powerful. But let's look at the songs they are choosing. For me, taking Nacee to go for Artist of the Year, I think is very fair.
Okay.
Should you look at Nacee's impact, his work last year, Nacee had a very good year as an artist.
Okay.
I've had engagement with Nacee, and I think for Nacee himself, he thinks last year was one of the years that he actually went all out to do a promo, to run a promo for a song.
Okay.
And he invested hugely.
So much into it.
Into it. And of course, we have the numbers. Nacee, I mean, Nacee was putting his numbers out and all of that to show that, of course, there are proofs for everything that he's doing. And so for me, especially when we know right now that when it comes to some of these award schemes, most of them would want to operate using insight or
numbers as data.
Yeah, from
science and data
from the digital store. So for me, I think Nacee, when it comes to that one, Nacee has it. But where I have a problem is pushing artists like Piesier, Esther over Joyce Blessing. If you want to compare these two, that aside, you can even chip in artists or musicians like Mabel Autry. The reason why I'm bringing Mabel Autry is that if you look at the definition for Artist of the Year per the VGMAs, somewhere in the definition says that you need to have a popular song, and then you also must at least play your own concert, sort of. Yeah, and I think Mabel Autry ticks that box.
Okay.
Ahaya Kwanho.
Yeah.
And I think Irabna also takes that box also. And so, assuming they want to do, then I think settling on just Piesier Esther wouldn't be enough, because there are more options that they could have used. So I don't know what went into. And then again, I just did a quick research before we sat here, and then what I can say, should you pick Joyce Blessing's Victory and then Piesier Esther's Mo, I feel Joyce Blessing's Victory stand a chance of fitting into that category than Piesier Esther's. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. So per the numbers, if you look at, so these songs were released in the same month. I think the other was like 3 days after the latter.
Okay.
So Joyce
Blessing's, I remember there was even a controversy that Joyce, why did
so Joyce Blessing's Victory was released on 24th September 2023, and then as it stands now on YouTube, it has 2.6 million views, plus some 37k likes. Yes. And then if you go to Boomplay, it has 3.2 million streams on Boomplay. And then if you go on Shazam, it has been Shazam on a number of 57,746.
Wow.
Yes. And then,
that's for Joyce Blessing's Victory.
Yes, that is for Joyce Blessing's Victory. Now I am moving on to Piesier Esther. So if you go to Piesier Esther, you pick Hemo. Hemo has chopped some 2.6 million views plus 29k likes on YouTube. So there's no difference here. 2.6 million on YouTube. Joyce Blessing's Victory also has 2.6 million on YouTube as well.
Wait, did you say 22 million or
no? So 2.6 million views
for
Joyce Blessing on YouTube.
Okay, and
when it comes to Piesier Esther to 2.6 million on YouTube.
Okay.
Right.
That bracket.
Yes. However, if you move on to the rest of the digital stores that I used here, which is Boomplay and then Shazam, Joyce Blessing is topping Piesier Esther's Mo.
Oh, I see.
In terms of numbers.
Science and data.
Yeah. So if you look at Piesier Esther's Mo, her stream on Boomplay is 2.2 million, whilst Joyce Blessing's own is 3.2 million.
Oh, okay.
So some 1 million difference.
Okay.
And then if you look at Joyce Blessing's Victory, it was Shazammed 57,746. Okay. And then Piesier Esther's Mo was Shazam some 477,122. 477,122.
477,000.
Yes.
And Piesier Esther's is
57,000.
So that means PSC had more Shazam.
That more,
400,000. Okay.
more than Joyce Blessing. And so for
Okay.
me, I feel Piesier Esther even stands a chance than Joyce
Blessing
stands a chance more than Piesier Esther.
Yes, yes,
So
okay.
clearly, if you look at this data here, and for the fact that if we go further to look through, you realize that we have other artists who stands a chance. For instance, Dana Homati didn't do bad last year. We had artists like Irabena and then Ahaya Kwanho Mabel Ochri. And so clearly it means if I am Irabena, should I be Mabel Ochri, Joyce Blessing? I will not feel happy
to hear
if
that.
I should hear that people with power, people that
Have
a influence could go and then say that they are only projecting 2 people to be nominated. And so what happens to me that without any label, without any table of men,
My issue as well.
have been able to work all by myself to
Yeah.
achieve a certain feat, which I don't know whether in the subsequent years I'll be able to repeat such achievement or be able to achieve such feat again.
These are
And so,
my
and
issues
so
as
what
well.
happens? Clearly, it means that a certain table of men have been able to subdue whatever I'm supposed to achieve with a certain progress I have made
Okay.
or impact I've made with my music, of which it is not factual. Like it cannot be rest assured that I might even get to that level or achieve such height or feats before I quit music. You understand? So clearly it means it doesn't make sense. And so on this note, if we would want to say something that might also make a lot of impact, then what we must tell the
Table
award,
of men.
award
Okay.
schemes
Okay.
is that they shouldn't rather take what table of men tell
They
them.
shouldn't let the pressure from table of men take them.
Yes, and then they shouldn't see whatever they say or whatever they
As
give
the gospel
as,
truth.
as the final. Because clearly they are in there to only influence that which will favor them.
In fact, they are in there for their interests. Simply put.
Yes.
They are in there for their interest. So
basically-
if they say they are going to push only 2 artists, Piesier, Esther, and Nacee, who we are not against, they have worked like you've done. I think beautiful analysis so far on this particular topic. They've really worked so hard to get to where they are. But for them to say, we are going to influence the award schemes when conversations start on behalf or in favor of these 2, what happens to the rest?
Yeah, so that is where it doesn't make sense. Because these people, these are also individuals. And like
Who
I
have
said,
worked.
yeah, Joyce Blessing is not on any label.
Yeah.
And we know how it costs to run promotions these days.
Yeah.
And so for someone to work her soul, everything out, and then you just come out that, okay, I have picked this individual, you should rather consider this individual over that.
For you don't cry, it is monetary motivated.
Yes, of course.
For you know, it is monetary motivated.
Yeah, for sure.
For them
And
to
so-
do what they are doing.
Yeah, and so
at the detriment of the other guys,
Yeah.
I think that is not fair.
It's very, very unfair. If we are pushing an agenda that will favor the gospel space,
Okay.
there should be an agenda for all. I think last year I entered one big office, and the woman or the individual, the office I entered, plays a role, especially in the gospel industry. And the woman, I keep saying woman, the individual is equally upset with the doings of the table of men. Yes.
Okay.
The individual feels we have artists like Kofi Kaikari who are pushing, who are doing well. We have artists like he mentioned the artist name, which has escaped me a bit.
Okay.
Who are extremely good, more than the Joe Metals, but we are failing to push them, all because a certain table of men have hijacked the system, and want to push people of their interest. And so clearly, it means the stakeholders in the gospel space are not happy. And so if the stakeholders in the gospel space are not happy, then it means table of men must come back to the table, and then they should again review the reason why they set the table to see if they are really on course. If that is not the agenda they are pushing, then they should sit up. Because it was surprising last year when I put John Winner
Okay.
on Urban Gospel Rave, and the delivery. That was my I have heard John Winner severally. Have seen John Winner put in the effort. John Winner has been on This Is Gospel severally. I've seen the man put in the effort.
But seeing him on that stage.
John Winner will go to Dubai to shoot music videos, Nigeria, UK, and all of that, just to shoot music video, just to make sure that they are making effort, a certain impact, to make sure that there are varieties when it comes to the gospel space, but these people go nowhere, regardless of the millions, regardless of the thousands they spend on their career. And this man is extremely good, though.
Yeah.
I saw John Winner on stage, his performance. I'm like, yo, so this man is here in Ghana,
and nobody is paying attention to him. I think if I had another mind on this particular issue, that mind was in the head of J Smart, because he's spoken exactly how I wanted to speak. The only difference is that he's added more details that maybe I was not in a position to add. And this is also my issue. My issue is that sometimes let's play on a fair ground so that those who really deserve can win. As it stands now, if I look at what is happening and the fact that they have picked two out of their own interest, it makes me feel pity for the rest of the people. Meanwhile, someone also thinks that this was my year. I worked extremely hard to get here, and now the person is going to be sidelined. Bruv, let's talk on the gospel music industry every week. They also need some mention. We shouldn't leave it for only the gospel at the table of men. So we are also going to push our people, those we think also deserve it, including everybody, including Nacee and Piesier, Esther. Any other person who deserves a recognition the year and the review for the gospel music fraternity. We are also going to start our own gospel camp here. In fact, it is a big market. That your gospel market is a big market. Bring that market here, and let's do business. My name is Sammy Flex. Thanks to Richie Flex. Thanks to Digital Rasta, and of course to J Smart, who has been my resource person on the gospel discussion. Like I keep saying, different strokes for different folks. He is one guy who understands the gospel fraternity. The facts and the figures are real for you to know. Sammy Flex, I'm out of here. See you. Bye-bye.